Look, Project 2025, to be very clear here, a lot of their ideas were just classic MAGA ideas. A lot of them were just classic.
I mean, all of them.
That was Fox News host Laura Ingram, along with Charles Gasparino, admitting that Project 2025 is the agenda. I mean, it's classic MAGA, which should come as a surprise to some people who, for some reason, believe Trump's campaign after they supposedly distance themselves from this Heritage Foundation plan to change America by dismantling government, the administrative state, replacing staffers in the government with loyalists, and then taking on the scourge of wokeness.
The wokers.
Okay. None of this should come as a surprise to anyone. It's not a surprise to me, anybody paying attention, but there are some people who are like, no, that's not, no, Project 2025, they distanced themselves. Trump said he's got nothing to do with it, and I believed him. Did you now? Did you? No, this was their plan all along. So Ingram is not wrong when she says, oh yeah, it's classic MAGA. Yes, we know. Now Gasparino went on to claim in that very same segment that these ideas in the 900 pages of Project 2025, well, they're not crazy. Quote, this stuff is not insane. This is like classic conservatism, MAGA conservatism. It makes a ton of sense. Only if you're pushing for insane things. Okay. Now, what am I talking about? The plan aims to reinstate Schedule F. That's a Trump-era executive order, okay, that makes federal employees fireable at will, which would strip tens of thousands of employees of civil service protections, allowing, of course, Trump to fire them and replace them with people who are going to push his particular agenda. Now, you only do that if you plan to do outrageous and possibly illegal things that you need your loyalists to do. Now, not only that, but Project 2025 also would make the Department of Justice not independent of the executive branch, meaning that it can and probably will be used to take legal retribution against whoever Donald Trump, whoever pisses off Donald Trump, okay, that week, all right? So there's going to be probably a lot of sham investigations of political enemies. Unsurprising. Now, not only that, but Vought's Center for Renewing America reportedly listed Christian nationalism as one of the major priorities of second Trump term. So here comes Christian nationalism, everybody. What does that mean in practice? Well, let's look at healthcare, right? In the chapter on the Department of Health and Human Services, former Trump HHS official Roger Severino advocates for a future conservative executive to maintain a biblically based, social science reinforced definition of marriage and family, while arguing that that families are comprised of a married mother, father, and their children are a foundation of a well-ordered nation and a healthy society. Okay. What does that mean in practice? It means outlawing gay marriage. That's really it. Getting rid of same-sex marriage. Okay. It also means, by the way, no abortions. In the foreword of the Project 2025 policy book, Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts writes that a pro-life administration starts by removing the terms abortion, reproductive health, and reproductive rights, among others, out of every federal rule, agency regulation, contract, grant regulation, and piece of legislation that exists. So now, Trump, he's like, I'm not going to touch anything on abortion. But you can do this. Take the word, just strip the language out. And then you can start going after the policy and outlawing it. Project 2025 also suggested that the next conservative administration reinstate the Comstock Act to ban and track and limit so-called mail-order abortions and restructure Medicaid to avoid providing reproductive health care and penalize providers who do. Not only that, but there's anti-surrogacy positions, writing that all children have a right to be raised by the men and women who conceived them. Now, it would also reverse a Biden administration policy that requires hospitals to offer abortions in medical emergencies regardless of state bans. already, three women in Texas have been killed by the abortion bans. So doctors not allowed to do DNCs, okay, unless you have total confirmation that there's no more heartbeat. Okay, so by the time that they're allowed to do these procedures, generally that fetus has gone necrotic or has basically given the woman sepsis. Okay, and the women, of course, die from sepsis. Okay, so there's a result of all that. Project 2025 also aims to end all fetal cell research and ensure that abortion and embryo destructive related research become both fully obsolete and ethically unthinkable. All in this, and there's so much more. These are extreme positions. I mean, there's another part about reclassifying anything to do with transgender people as pornography. Even though it says, again, this could just be a blog of like, hey, I'm a transgender person, and you know, here's me living my life. That would be classified as pornography. So understand that it's a way to get trans people out of life, okay? To kick them out of society. That's the overall plan. So again, extreme positions, right? And yet, classic of MAGA. There's, I mean, unless she didn't read it, okay? Laura Ingram, maybe not a reader, okay? Doesn't know what's in it, but says, oh, he's classical MAGA. But Gasparino's like, all of it. Oh, yeah, it's all these ideas. These are just MAGA ideas. This was the plan. It was always the plan. Now, I'm not saying that everything in Project 2025 is going to be enacted immediately on day one. But there's a good chance that some, if not a lot of it, will end up being enacted. And if that is the case, what does that mean? It means that Donald Trump's a fucking liar. That's what that means. Okay? Now, oh, come on. Why would Donald Trump lie to us? That would be why. Polling conducted by Navigator Research in early September found that half of all Americans now rate Project 2025 unfavorably, and a majority oppose the plan. Only 9% of Americans say they have a favorable view, and only 12% say that they support the plan. But apparently, with Trump's win, the right thinks, finally, we've got our mandate. Ha-ha, we're going to enact it. And with Russ Vought being put on the Office of Management and Budget, and all these other, officials that have had a hand in writing Project 2025 being put into positions of power, I don't know. Gee, I wonder why we would think that that is the plan. Huh. And he's not the only Project 2025 architect that has been nominated for Trump's cabinet. Other nominees with Project 2025 ties include Brendan Carr, who wrote the project's chapter on the FCC. Carr's now set to lead that agency. Huh, weird. Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, John Ratcliffe, his incoming CIA director, as well as Pete Huckstra, Trump's choice for ambassador to Canada, were also involved. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people would think that, Project 2025, that we're going to get it. I mean, why else are all these pro-Trump conservatives out there admitting that this was the plan the whole time?
Oh my God, he admitted.
The mask is off. All right? The mask is off. It's coming. Project 2025. Because, as she mentioned before, this is all just classic MAGA stuff. All right, well, there it is. But apparently Trump spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt hasn't gotten the memo yet. She must be still in campaign mode, all right? She recently told Reuters that Trump never had anything to do with Project 2025 and that all of his cabinet nominees and appointments were wholeheartedly committed to President Trump's agenda, not the agenda of outside groups. There's a couple of possibilities here. Either Donald Trump's full of crap and he's lying to you, which wouldn't be a surprise, or everyone else is lying to Donald Trump and are just using him to enact Project 2025. The way I look at it is that the result is the same either way. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.